Japan is getting the green light to release tons of treated radioactive wastewater from the damaged Fukushima nuclear power plant into the sea. Steve Silva joins us now for more on this story from Tokyo. So Steve, hello. Thank you for making some time for us here. This is, of course, now more than a decade-long cleanup in the aftermath of the Fukushima disaster. So tell us a little bit more here about what would happen.
Yeah, this would involve releasing tons and tons of treated water into the Pacific Ocean. People in multiple countries have raised safety, economic, and reputational concerns. But in its report released a short time ago, the International Atomic Energy Agency seemed to put a bit of a damper on one concern, the environmental concern. In its report, it basically said that this plan by Japan meets international safety standards. Here's more from what the head of the agency had to say.
If the government decides to proceed with it, would have negligible impact on the environment, meaning the water, fish, and sediment.
So this has been a long time coming. Let's take a quick refresher here. The Fukushima nuclear power plant was massively damaged in the 2011 earthquake and tsunami. There were multiple meltdowns. It was one of the worst nuclear disasters of all time. And water is being used to cool the molten nuclear fuel there. The water is treated to remove most radioactive elements, except for something called tritium, that remains. And this treated water, it keeps increasing every day. There's actually more than 1 million tons of it right now, and space is running out. So Japan and the plant's operator want to put the treated water in the ocean, but they say that it would first be diluted with seawater so that the tritium is well below internationally approved levels. So today's report from the IAEA gives Japan the ability to say, look, there's this international body, a UN body of experts that says this plan is sound.
So, Steve, of course, this plan is controversial, and opposition is coming from both inside Japan, but then from some nearby countries as well. So what are some of the opponents saying?
Well, the reaction to today's announcement is still coming in because it was just released a short time ago. But the reaction has been fairly firm from a number of countries. China is one of them that has come out against this plan, raising concern about the impacts to humans if this water is released. And South Korea has also raised concern. And that relationship is especially interesting right now. And people will be watching to see how South Korea reacts, given that Seoul and Tokyo have been trying to repair damaged ties lately and have been making significant strides in that regard. And it's also important to mention that there is a lot of internal pressure as well. Many people in Japan are against this idea, especially many in the fishing industry, which was already hard hit during the nuclear disaster. There were many, the number of sales dropped significantly. Number of countries put restrictions on food from that area. So many people in Japan don't want this either. However, it seems the Japan government is set to do this. And we're hearing that they're looking at potentially releasing it as early as this summer. And as for how long it will take, this won't be an immediate thing. The water will be released over decades.
Steve, thank you for this. Great to have you on this morning. Steve Silva for us there in Tokyo.